going to just ask you some questions, and it's kind of...
They better be easy questions.
It's casual, yeah. Well, I don't know if they're easy questions. Can you hear me as well?
I can hear you.
Okay. But yeah, they generally are... They're just things that I thought about, but then I might have follow-up questions. I haven't asked everything that I wanted to say. We can do it for like 10 minutes and then I'll take a break. The general theme of them was marriage advice.
Marriage advice.
Marriage advice, yeah. So my first question is, what do you do when you have a fight?
Say that again?
What do you do when you have a fight?
When you have
A fight.
a fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do when you have a fight?
Between the spouses.
Yeah.
But from personal experience, I'll tell you, the best way is to stay calm. Don't react. All issues between husband and wife get settled unless there is some very serious underlying issue which stands unresolved for even before the marriage. Because, and then as a male person, I would say that your wife is far better equipped and more knowledgeable about the facts which lead to such fights. And so it's very difficult to win an argument from her.
Okay.
That's my experience.
Okay. I like that answer. That's what
Don't
you did?
react.
That's what you used
That's right.
in your own marriage?
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to decide that that was the best way?
After having lost many battles.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. How do you think a man should treat a woman in a marriage?
First of all, I think it's very important that from day number one, you both must learn to respect each other. Unless there is this strong element of trust and respect, marriages cannot be happy and not lasting.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything else that you think? In terms of how a man treats a woman in a marriage?
Yeah. But my personal experience is that you have to give a lot of, you have to really care for your wife. Irrespective of how emancipated women may become, they always feel the comfort and the comfort and confidence in their lives will only come if they get full respect from their husband.
Yeah.
I mean, some women may not agree with me on this issue, but if you really look at not only in our own part of the world, but even in the West, for example, it's important that the women feel that their strength really comes when there's harmony and there is respect from the husband towards the wife.
Yeah, that's really a good point. What was your marriage like with Bebe?
Like all marriages, we had our problems in the sense, and they were not really serious problems, but one of understanding one another. I don't think we meant ill towards each other, but there were instances where needlessly we got into arguments. Needlessly. The issues were small and we just blew them out of proportion. And that's the kind of learning you must incorporate in your lives. That issues which lead to anger must be weighed thoroughly before you really get into that anger mode. Do not spontaneously get aggressive and respond in an angry manner. If you can keep yourself composed, even the biggest issue gets eventually resolved.
What does marriage mean to you?
Very important. Very important. Very, very important.
Is it an institution? Is it sacred?
Institution, very important institution, I would say. It's a very important institution. It makes the human being complete. They say, maybe in a lighter vein, that you regret marrying because it carries so much responsibility. So you regret marrying, but you also regret not marrying. So it's better to marry and be regretful rather than just believe in this, that both ways are going. In other words, what it says is that for two people to live together is not easy, but it can also become easy if your attitudes are always positive.
Right. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. How long were you married for?
Okay, so we got married in 71, so 29 and 25. No. Oh, I think it was. You 71 to 30 for 42 years.
42 years. Okay. That's like double my lifetime so far. So should people my age be getting married?
Overwhelmingly, yes.
And
You
why
will
do you,
become
why do you think
you will become a very complete person.
that? Okay.
Really, I personally think that to be a productive member of community, being a responsible citizen, it happens only when a husband and wife together nurture a unit which forms part of the larger the activities of human race on this planet.
So you're saying that it's important in the grand scheme of things?
In the grand scheme of things.
Okay. Chitra, I'm interviewing Dadybaba, so we need to. Yeah. I'll send you that picture about girls, so I took. What keeps a relationship together?
A better understanding of each other's desires and consciously always keeping in your mind that in whatever interaction takes place between a husband and wife, for example, it must always be this central thing of respect must govern the outcome of any discussion. If you are respectfully engaged in a discussion, you will find an answer quite soon, and which will be a lasting solution. But if you are not respectful to each other, in other words, when I say respectful, it means that you have respect for the other person's point of view. If you have that respect for his point of view, he will have to respond in the same manner, otherwise it cannot be lasting. So for any lasting relationship, this mutual understanding and mutual respect is a fundamental element in any relationship.
Okay. Sorry, Mama was calling. So respect keeps coming up. You think that
Fundamental.
it's fundamental?
Fundamental.
Yeah.
And I think it's also human nature.
Human nature, yeah. You think
That's why I'm saying it's universally applicable.
Applicable, yeah. Okay. What is it actually like having in-laws?
That part of life.
As part of life, okay.
It comes with in-laws can both be a source of strength and it can also be a source of great problems.
Yeah.
Many problems. So again, as I said, what drives a relationship is moderate expectations and remaining composed in even the most serious of arguments. Don't ever lose your temper. That is fundamental. If you stick to that, never lose it. In fact, it's better if you think that you are not getting to any resolution at that point. Just walk away from the argument. But don't let it get ugly. Because things usually get unnecessarily ugly, which they should not.
Right.
Because once they get ugly, those imprints then mar the relationship for all future time.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they are always at the back of your mind when your next argument comes. Oh, he did that to me at that time. You remember you said the same thing to that? And so it aggravates the situation. That's very, very fundamental.
So respectful communication, maybe not talking for some time, just letting something be for a second while you think.
Yeah, naturally. But this is what I'm saying, don't just overreact become, because some people, when they are overreacting, they become abusive,
Mm.
and that leads to permanent damage.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. Um, okay, now we're gonna segue slightly. So I'm interested as to how your spirituality has evolved over time. How did you used to feel about your relationship with God? And then there's obviously been a lot of life events that have happened in between. And then now you're in a different phase of your life. So how has that changed over time? Because I find for myself, every even few weeks or few months, my ideas and feelings towards all of it changes or evolves into something else. So.
Mine, this is a very difficult question to answer, because I still do not know whether spirituality comes from exposure to your environment, or spirituality comes to your extensive knowledge of religion, or whether spirituality comes from normal human relationships.
Mm.
But I personally, in my own life, I've felt that spirituality has a great part to play in your life. Because there's so much that we don't know about life, that unless you have something like spirituality which comes out of the fact that when you don't have the answers, you believe in faith. And faith is what leads to spirituality. So I have found that in my moments of anguish, in my moments of worry, and in my moments of happiness, I rely a lot on spiritual support, both in happiness and in anger and in distress.
Anguish, yeah. And you believe in? Do you believe in heaven and?
I believe in. First of all, I believe in God,
Mm.
and then everything else emanates from that.
Okay, what do you feel like God is? What is it? Who is it? Is it a person? Is it a presence? Is it interlaced in all life?
You know, it's such a complex concept, God, that there is no one best way of saying what is God.
Right, right.
So my belief in God is something, it is that force which runs this whole universe or universes. So if it has human qualities, then I can relate to it in my own way and in the way I understand it.
Mm.
So I sometimes don't go that far, because when I can't conceive God in that sense, I say, well, He's something that
It's unimaginable almost,
yeah, it's beyond the human mind.
Yeah.
And there's also so much that we don't know, that you can't say that what you find and interpret God as is really it that way.
It's a very scientific perspective.
Like, for example, Einstein, he was asked whether he was an atheist or he believed in God. And if he did believe in God, what was his view of God? So he said, I'm not an atheist. I believe in God, and for me, God is the force that runs all this systems, global systems.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So you resonate with his
so I
idea.
resonate in that sense.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Do you think that there's like a natural trajectory to life?
What do you mean by natural trajectory?
Like, everyone is obviously experiencing life in their own individual way, and depending on their free will, they're making decisions about where they're going and what experiences they're going to have in their lives. But do you think that we're all learning the same lessons but just in different ways?
Yes, I do share that. That there's a lot of commonality in life's experiences. And it's so sad that we don't learn from those experiences. Because I think if we did, there wouldn't be so much distress in this world. This is again, I think it may be part of human nature, that as when we are young, we all want to go through it ourselves before we give it the stamp of formally calling it experience. I've learned my experience. We are all say, I learned it through my experience. But if we also had the ability to be able to learn from others' experiences, we would become a far more knowledgeable person and respond well to issues in life. So the fundamental issue is that there is in fact, there's more similarity than dissimilarity in the experiences of people collectively.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, I think that's all I have for now. From a younger person's perspective, and then someone that has accumulated life experience, where comparing and contrasting that, it's valuable for me, and I think it'll be valuable for other people also.
Oh, but if you can make yourself, or you allow yourself to open up to learning from others' experiences as well, that would be a great, great achievement. You will become a much wiser person much sooner than many others who are engaged in.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you.
Or whatever you may call it, into few fundamental principles. Like for example, I said, in any relationship, if you can remain composed and never overreact and don't go beyond your normal being, if you can control that, if you can begin to develop that kind of emotional control, life can be so much
more pleasant. Yeah. It's part of the challenge. It's not easy.
It's not easy, but
no.
But
it's worth it, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You must at least consciously strive to achieve that harmony.
Yeah.
Within yourself and with others.
Yeah, we have to. We have to. Yeah.
Get the positive side. And I will then consciously try and see, okay, let's look at the positive side. And I tell you, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Of course it does. You feel better. You behave in a way that you're more proud of.
Exactly.
You're not wasting your time.
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
And then also, basically, something that you must always keep in mind. In this world, what is really important is to be able to get along with others.
Mm.
You can't live by yourself and unto yourself, because that doesn't make much sense. It would make sense to a limited extent, but beyond that, you're part of a larger system,
Yeah.
and you must keep that in mind. And this is not only me that is living a life and interacting with you, but it's so many other people who in similar ways are also interacting with you and with me and that person. And then another person looks at, so this is a very interrelated
Network. Yeah.
network. So you must keep that in mind.
Yeah.